Right. So, what happened last week? What's happened?
I mean, I can tell you what happened last week. About half an hour in, I stopped taking notes for some unknown reason. So my notes have us arriving at Duros station 42B, and then they don't say anything more after that. So I can get us there. Guido and Tech leave to deal with the bounty on Guido, and Oren decides to help. Whisper calls the crew for a delivery mission. Duros is a toxic planet. Automated mining. They all live in space around the planet. The cargo that we are delivering is a Rexu for the Bloodsport games. Our contact's name is Jonathan. No outsiders are allowed to land on the planet. We leave on the Pilfered Parrot. The cockpit is a mess of cables, etc., and we spend the travel time cleaning up. Kira is making the ship her own. Remux is monitoring the Rexu. He reaches out with the Force and senses rage. We arrive at Duros and dock at station 42B. End. That's all that happened.
We're accosted by the crew in the hangar crew. And there's a guy who annoys Spanners by wanting to upsell lots of services like window cleaning and refueling and fixing the ship.
And security.
etc. Security, yeah. So there's lots of haggling and frustration between the crew of the Pilfered Parrot and the hangar crew. But we arrive at no cleaning, no mechanics work happening, but they are going to refuel, and we did get some of their security services. I'll hand over to Nick to talk about what ISAR did in that bit, maybe?
Because you can't remember?
No, just trying to involve you.
I need to get you onto the house, but keep going and then discuss what you're going to be.
Okay. No worries.
Why are we recapping with no Dan? It's not right.
For
We all
ourselves.
know, but I know what's happened.
I don't.
Oh, he's back, Lucy. Oh no, he's gone. Bye. Yes, ISAR hacks the hangar feed. He finds a load of vulnerabilities and people that have already hacked into this system. It's a shit show. He isolates this hangar so no one else can spy on us from the external feeds external connections that are coming into this security system. We go to the nightclub. It's too loud. There's too many people. ISAR doesn't like it. We leave. We go to was it like a Wild Western Saloon he put us in it? Yeah, Wild Western Saloon. We speak to the buxom bar bench wench. Trying to think of a B word, and I couldn't think of another one. And she sends a smuggler over who's like, yeah, no, I can't help you. He was less than useless.
Captain Sharp.
Captain Sharp, that's it, yeah. He drinks some with the Lynn, and he leaves. Just as we're leaving, the police come in, don't they? Was it the police?
Yeah, because of something ISAR did on the Wi-Fi.
What was he doing? He was doing something from the bar's Wi-Fi, wasn't he? Finding out some form of information.
Yeah, about the games. I thought you would try to hack information about the games.
To find out if we could enter one-man teams or two-man teams and how it was.
Why would I need to hack that?
Because it's secret. The event's secret. It's not like on the general internet here. You had to like go into the dark web or something.
Games are hosted just for this planet's, like the upliftment of the miners on this planet. It's not like a widely publicized thing.
Was he also trying to find out information about that shuttle service that goes down? Was that?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so.
Yeah. Anyway, the police come and we just get out of there and we're like, yeah, cool, that's fine. We got away with it. And then some bounty hunters after Remix turn up, as we find. Dum dum dum.
Using non-lethal weaponry.
Because they want to capture you alive from the translations put the bounty on you, didn't they?
Yes.
Remix was very cagey about that bounty, I remember.
You were like, let's pay it off. And Remix was like, that might work. Or something like that, was it?
Yeah, we were like, well, what happened? Why you? What, we were all there. And he was like, I have no idea. Like, no clue. Meanwhile, Richard's like, I fucking did the force shit. And like,
yeah, and all the characters that were there aren't here, or were there but not really there.
Yeah, Ben was stoned.
Yeah. And then they got away.
Yeah,
run away.
Annoyingly.
Well, let's be honest. Remix gave them a little bit of what for before they ran away.
Yep, and the police went after them.
That was it, I
Then
think.
we went back to the hangar.
Yeah.
I think so. What did we miss, Dan?
Pardon? Pardon?
I just said, what did we miss?
In the recap,
Yeah,
nothing.
good.
Everything perfectly spot on.
Super.
Well,
so we're going to go and
means
spend that 50,000 credits.
No, you didn't
Yeah,
get
exactly.
50,000 credits. In fact, you left without paying the bill for the lady, so they're after you now. No. Okay, where did you get to then?
The end. We're done.
Yeah, back to the end, yeah.
We are complete. No. What? No.
Oh, is it? Hey,
No.
right. Okay, so we're in the hangar.
Yeah.
Are you in the hangar?
So I put something in the chat at the end because something I wanted to do and we decided to save it. So we've got back to the hangar and then Spanners says, I saw my dear boy. Can I borrow you, please?
Yeah. That's the voice. Yeah. There we go.
I'm not too bad with computers, but I've seen that you're definitely a dab hand. I was wondering if you could help me with something, please.
Okay, but I'm not clearing your browsing history again.
I believe you've been able to access the network, have you not? Of the station?
Yeah, yes.
I want to see if you can do something for me. Can you find out what scanners they have in terms of ships going up and down to the surface? Can you identify what hardware they have on the station for monitoring ships?
If it's tied into the central network, I think, but I might not be able to find that information from here. We might have to go somewhere a bit more central to the operation of the station for the nation.
Okay, well, let's give it a try. I have an idea. I understand your little outing came up somewhat fruitless, so I wanted to try something.
Okay. We probably need to go. Yes, a control center or something. Maybe a maintenance shaft.
Can you see on the network the most convenient one for us to go to?
Yes, it's here, just round the corner.
Great, shall you and I go for a walk, dear boy?
Let's go.
Banners and I shall go for a little walk.
They find behind the bike sheds. And they crawl into a tight little hole. And
Spanners is getting
But he's a bit rotund. He just stands.
That's why it's tight.
He stands and watches.
Two next to each other. There's one for normal sized people and large size.
I actually quite like that idea. Like Spanners is pretending to be a sleeping drunk or something, while ISAR's just gone behind a public access point, like
Nice.
a maintenance hatch in the like just around a corner or something, and he's just slumped up against the hole that I've.
Nice.
So
We do that.
You're trying to. I need a performance check from Spanners.
Oh, no.
And I think it's a big second. So
And he sits down and closes his eyes. Ta-da!
No, it's going to be convincing. And so you're trying to get a connection to scanners or the network within the space station, I presume. Find out who's
Specifically, no. ISAR is going to connect to the central network of the station to run a diagnostics on the scanning systems to get the specifications of the scanners that this array uses.
Yes, that's what I'm after, please.
Basically, he wants to find out what they're using to track ships up and down.
Yeah.
And now added a bit of flavour that we don't just have to, we can't just like Wi-Fi it while we're sitting in the spaceport, because that would be.
Nope, that's fine. So, where's the performance check for the drunk?
Deception, perhaps?
Yeah, it's got to be deception. It's got to be some form of. Deception.
And average 2 purple?
Yes, I just want to. Slumped drunk.
Yes.
Amazing.
And
It's like his arm half over his mouth. Still whispered.
Which one?
And they're all like splayed out. I was going in different directions, so he looks really drunk.
Okay. So I saw you crawl into this tunnel and there's flops next to drunken. You plug into the network, you see a load of data cables. Test them. And you find one appears to be linked to vehicle space tracking. So the way I understand this, or the way I try and answer it, is there would be flight control, as I spoke to them on Barrett, Kieran. They would be controlling, I guess, the movement of any ship. So yes, let's do that. So you've got the flight control, which asks for your credentials and station B. You find that they also control all of the interfleet traffic, all of the traffic going between the space stations, and also the traffic. I think I said it was stations 16, 17, and 18, I believe, that were actually receiving and sending to the planet. Vaguely remember.
But what about what sensors they use?
Yeah. I wonder
We're
what hardware.
looking for the hardware on the radar system that they use, for want of a current piece of terminology that we might understand slightly better. What radar system are they using to track them so that Spanners can do some jiggery pokery and fool it? I think is probably what he's getting at.
Yeah.
It's Durosian. I've got no word. No, you have to make it up. Durosium Radars Inc. There we go.
I mean, while I'm in here, Richard, I could just wipe our ship's signature off of their radar system rather than you doing something with the ship to slip through it.
Well, there we go. We've got a plan A and a plan B. Maybe I saw intuits what Spanos is planning and does it. He tries to do it, and then if he fails, then we could try plan B.
Not that I want to stop that at all, but I just want to ask a technical question. I don't know how radar works.
Yeah.
Like in the real world. So in the movies, they're like, oh, fly below the radar depth and blah. So to me, if you remove the radar signal, port on the if you, for example, if you maintaining your altitude and you hit your signature, would it
Yeah.
not ping on the next round of data
No,
transfer?
no, because right. To simplify this massively, right? Radar gives you a signature, right? That's only part of what a modern radar system does. Yeah. So the other thing that a modern radar system does, again, this is massively simplified, is there is a device in every single flying apparatus, for want of a better word, that has a transponder which has a unique identifier on it. Yeah, which identifies. So when you're watching films, you'll see them in the control tower and they're looking down on their little radar and they've got the little dots and they've got the lines out with the flight numbers on them.
Yeah,
That's coming from the transponder.
Right.
Right. So what I'm proposing that ISAR does is a little jiggery pokery that our transponder is between being received by the radar system and displayed on the screen, not displayed on the screen.
Maybe it can transmit in the same frequency sonar and therefore appears.
That also works.
The answer is yes, but I was just, for me, it was like you disappear and then reappear over here, for example.
No, yeah. No, so if you were just using a sonar system, sonar is different to radar and similar to radar, but not, because sonar uses sound, which is why you get that. Whereas radar is also a twisty thing that goes around and uses radio waves, but it's a slightly very more complicated system.
So the answer is yes. Let's do that if you want to do it as a plan. What you do find out though is, although you may change your frequency to match theirs, you find out that their frequency cycles through channels every 30 to 40, at least,
But
trying to see. Yes, I
okay.
was entirely wrong. Well, the way I was thinking is, I was thinking, well, if you're going to tweak your transponder to...
No, I'm not. I'm going to tell their system to ignore our transponder.
Yeah. Software solution.
I mean, we got to remember that in the Star Wars universe, they are not only going to rely on transponders, because black market people disable transponders. So they will have other things, other means.
No, which is why, rather than us disabling our transponders, I'm telling their system to ignore the ship that's associated against our transponder.
I get what you're saying, but they'll still have other systems that are detecting ships without transponders, and that is likely to catch us if we don't show up on their system. Do you know what I mean? Like that, I don't know. It's going to be tricky.
Or tweak the transponder to reflect a cargo ship, something like that. Anyway, it's a plan. We can develop it from... The answer to the question is yes, but I made it more complicated by just my understanding of radar.
So, do you want a computer's check then? And what difficulty to tell their system to ignore us?
No, Dan just said yes. That's fine. He said, yeah, you can do it. He didn't say, oh, I'm going to require a computer check, right?
It breaks what I can, but sure, I don't see why. I don't think that. That's fine. We can move on. Okay, so that's what you want to do. You want to trick trick the radar system that you are.
I feel like I've stolen your thunder a little bit, Richard, because I kind of intuited your idea and then just went, "Oh, I could do that while I'm in here."
All right.
With some techno engineering bullshit. But I mean, you could still do what you need to do, right? We can
The end
double team
result's
it.
the same.
Can I have a count? Can I give you a counter offer?
But you've already given us that.
Well, you're going to be watched in the hangar, right? So there's going to be.
Yep. Sure.
So either fly away, come back, and trick the system with a computer check, or between the two of you, craft a small device. You know they have in the movies, and they go and plug them into the cables. Craft a signal device that pings your that one. So it pings you're in the hangar, but you're not actually.
Or we can have it so that it watches us fly away. If people physically see us, and then we just, it's on a timer or something, or Spanners has got it on a remote override or something, and then it does what it needs to do.
So you'd like you'd want them to see you fly off, sublight speed, and then go to hyperspace. And that so to all intents and purposes, you've left, and then you'd only hyperspace a small distance, turn around, hyperspace back, but far away enough from the station that they don't see you, and then just sublight the distance within the system to get there.
Counter to that, your little device that we put on that does all this remotely. Maybe I'll put a little computer program in it, and we fly away. It then registers as us hyperspacing away. When we don't, we just drop off the radar essentially, and then we're stealthy down.
Great. Yeah.
Okay, so we need a mechanics check to make a device. Computers check to plan it. Then we need a Lin check for encouragement.
Oh,
No,
guys. Woohoo.
we need to concentrate here. We don't need Lynn
Okay,
distracting us.
we're going to have a hard mechanics. We're going to have a hard computers. We're going to have an average cheerleading check. If Lynn wants to do a cheerleading check. Okay.
Lynn's not there, so she's back in the shuttle station hangar. That's the word.
So I saw relaying that it's a Durusium radar's ink scanning thing. And let's decide that Spanner's actually brought a device that was almost ready. He just needed that one bit of information. So while looking drunk behind a crate, he's just tweaking the device so that he knows it will do the job.
I have a question for you.
Yes.
Is he doing exactly what you were doing, which was looking at me while fiddling on the table?
Yeah.
I have a black die.
Oh, great. I'm glad you said that because I removed black dice. 3 purple?
Yes.
Boom. 4 success and a triumph.
Motherfucker, you guys. That's amazing.
Right. So
I've got 4 yellow dice. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
yeah, mechanics is his jam. He can't walk, but mechanics is great. So you make this device that can plug into the on these.
Can I suggest something for our 5 threat, please? You know he's an old drunk while he's laying there. I have 2 suggestions. Either some kids come to do what kids do and mock him and stuff and throw rocks at him or something not horrid, or he gets moved along by the security system people because they're like, come on, off you go. When the police kick you out of the door. Yeah.
That's perfectly fine. I had something for this.
Oh no, go on. Sorry.
Well, no, it's fine because you can go with my suggestion was I'll let you pick between the two. Mine was a decaying system, so he's used parts that he had like on him, and maybe they trading crap. So I was going to suggest that maybe it will give you a certain time period that this works, and then it will grade enough. But I like the idea of him being moved.
I mean, your thing works. What, like 4 hours or something? Was that what you're gonna?
I have a fun suggestion. Banners is moved on by the security force, but they notice he crate that's slightly ajar and lock it.
That's fine. And then I crawl through the walkways, and then I find that there's actually just a grate into our hangar. But by that point, these are old access things. I am like covered in space cobwebs and space dust, and just like I come out and I'm all like fluffy and grey, coughing, big old clouds of.
You got to pop out the grate and all the other guys in the hangar, and Kira just looks down and goes, "Security breach." Okay, done.
Oh, okay. I'd like to see spanners being returned to the hangar by security.
Come on, you old fool! Move on, and they sort of give you a nudge with their feet. It's two Durossi guards. Come on, move along, get up. Too much Corellian whiskey. He can't. Look at the size. The size of him. You carry him, George. I'm not doing it. Oh,
Spanners fully puts his weight on.
Oh, he's got like 4 arms, 2 arms around each dude.
Yeah.
Where you staying, big lad?
I got 16, or whatever it was. I can't remember.
42B.
I got 42B.
How could you not make it? It's right here. Literally 20 steps. And he sees the two guards at the door and he goes, "Get him in there and get him out of our sight. If we find him on the streets again, be a fine involved. All yours, and they don't put you down. Step out your arms." Do you like immediately stand up as soon as they've gone, like completely sober, and the guards are like,
Yeah, definitely. Sobers up very quickly. And when Spanners gets back to the rest of them, he's got a big grin on his face, and he puts 2 arms around Isar and says, "Well done, boy, well done." And then he proceeds to tell Lynn and the others what they've been up to, and gives Isar lots of praise. He sort of takes them under his wing.
That's nice. That's cute.
"Are we going now, or are we waiting?" This is me pretending to be cute. "Are we going now, like right now, or are we doing it at a certain time? What's going on?"
We can go now.
Amazing.
Well, hang on. Kira, my darling, while you're so amped up, it's great. You know, I just got fucked up by a stun grenade, so you know I could use a little rest before we go. I don't know, Remux, how you feeling? I saw
Great.
you got smashed by it too.
I think in this system, out of combat strain healing is pretty. Because when you come out of combat, you roll dice to heal strain as well. I think.
Because I'm letting you roll on other strain for advantages. I've forgotten.
I
Discipline
mean,
or cool
Lynn
check
Lynn can
for
do
each
her
success,
motivational.
and that too. So there is do your motivational, but yeah, you roll a discipline or cool check, and that can recover strain per success,
Oh wow, that's cool.
And roll.
which gives those skills useful things to be.
What difficulty?
None. You just roll the dice
Oh,
because you've got like shitloads of strain and a couple of dice.
Just successes.
Yes, yeah, just successes. Holy shit.
It's a lot of advantages.
Discipline. Oh, cool. It's going to be discipline because my cool is 1 green.
And then,
I would
Dan,
say,
are you okay?
Complete failure.
I'd say Isaac will have one because he got fatherly love
Ah.
from sorry, Ross.
Are you okay with me doing a leadership role to try and reduce strain?
Sure.
Ooh.
So 3 people can reduce strain. Can you change a triumph into an advantage?
2 advantage or 1 success.
Okay, so I'll change both of those triumphs into advantages then, so that each person can, 3 people can recover 2 strain. So that'll be Remux, Isar, and Lynn.
Yeah.
Or
Lovely.
get another 2.
And sleeping also resets it like D&D and your health as well, I think.
Not health. Health is 1 hit point.
Is it?
24.
There you go.
Back to tank. That improves by.
Or medical checks can also, yeah. Once per encounter, and then its wounds equal to success. And heals a number of strain equal to the advantage. So he could actually do with a medical. Actually, in the party, that would be useful. That's
Yeah.
yeah. Cool. Okay. Good.
I have a question. While we're recovering shit, Remix also has second wind. Once per encounter, may use second wind incidental to heal strain equal to ranks in second wind. However, outside of an encounter, what does that mean?
But the way I understand that, it's encounter is a counter as
Mhm.
so
Mhm.
I would say that's available. That
Yeah,
unless we
but
have
the rules is intended on most of those skills that say once per encounter basically mean once per encounter, i.e. they have no out of combat use because otherwise they're stupid broken.
May I have used that second wind at the conclusion of the previous encounter? Thank you. I have one rank, so I'm recovering 1 strain. It's not going to make much difference, but every little helps.
there is some skills that are session.
Right. Okay.
It's a very
Thank you.
rousing speech, Lynn. Come on, let's go. Terrible.
Okay, let's go.
I'm flying.
Cool. Cool. Cool.
And as you're all board, up the engines. Manos will find the cock if he goes to go up there. And
He will. Excuse me. Why have you locked the cockpit, Kira?
take your seats, Manos. We're lifting off. Feel the ship take off.
He goes into the lounge, saying, "Oh, outrageous! I can't believe she locked me out of the cockpit." And he sits down and crosses both of his arms, both sets of arms.
And then cinematically, clarify, are we seeing that the ship hyperspace is away, or it's faking hyperspacing away? Frustration.
Yeah.
So you hear over the tunnel, and you go up from. Okay, and spooling hyperdrive now, and health 1, 2, 3, and I saw on your and I saw you, and the engine's coming, and it's not free falling, but it kind of feels like you kind of free fall slowly. Starts to get a bit faster, and you just hear "woohoo" over the tunnel as the ship kind of dips forward and just dives towards the planet. Shot pilot.
Nice.
So, going down towards the planet, you see, if you're looking around, see the space station and you can see obviously the grid of space. You can see the interfleet traffic going back and forward. You can see obviously stationed outside. The planet itself is very orange, very very orange. You can see that there is mountains. You can see that, but the bodies of water are just dark. You know that this thick, you know that thing, right, and that only 5% of the planet is actually populated. They live behind large dam, like behind larger dams to hold all the top back. They're sort of inside the. You remember I told you on the planet, there is only 5% that's habited. Um, in that 5%, most of it is factories, mines, and now the workers are all. So the ship comes down. Questions of the ship.
Um, Isar just starts playing some music in the background just to lift the mood slightly. I don't know if you can hear that.
Like, it's not. I mean, it's not like coming through. It's cutting out.
Oh, that's rubbish. I can probably route it through OBS to be fair, but I've not got that set up. But you got the point.
So the ship comes down close to the atmosphere. You feel it hit the atmosphere because it.
Discord has a soundboard, and I was like, I wonder if you could have just played it through there, Nick. Probably, but then I saw a duck and I pressed it.
And it comes down to the atmosphere, and ships. Kira announces over the tunnel. I can see the town where we're supposed to meet, Jonathan, but there doesn't appear to be any unoccupied landing spot. But where would you like me to put it? Choices are right next to that big factory, which will probably be monitored, near the slums, yep, or near the toxic waste.
Great options.
Where is the? Do we know where the arena is in relation to this?
I would say it's probably near the slum from building this. They want close to the pop.
Should we put it directly in the middle of the arena or go to the slums where it will be easier to deliver the package?
Commoners are easy to deal with. You throw them a few credits and they leave you alone. I think we should just go to the slums.
I agree.
Yes, I also agree.
Slums it is, coming in hot. And you feel that
Me too.
you feel like the ship accelerates. And then like at the last second it goes lands and like comes out the cop.
Don't you ever lock me out of my cockpit again, Kara?
The cop.
I've spent weeks on this ship.
Yes, and it was very untidy. I've made it more homely.
Spanners, my dear Spanners. This whole ship is yours. The entirety of it. You created this masterpiece. You think we could give Kira that little area over there? I mean, she's still going to need to come in there and fix things.
Yeah.
So, you think we could just give her a little bit of room?
Okay. All right then. Fair enough.
Oh, by the way,
Thanks for the great work.
your label mounted shields to turn them on, turn the shields on at all. It empties
It
the waste.
does. You've just got to jiggle it.
Empties the waste bucket. I have fixed it. Don't worry.
Fix that. That's my job.
She'll wander off to the common area.
His blood pressure's going up.
So this is a shanty town. Horrible shacks. As you look out of the ship without exiting already, you can see that people started to come and see what's going on. Well, there's a ship here that has landed. The only ships that come here normally go to the factory. Look out, you can stream transporting. So this is really out of place, and you can see a lot of people being a little bit concerned. Some of them look quite excited. They're starting to gather like
Should we? Richard.
I was going to say we could maybe use that idea of us only sending out humanoids in hazmat suits, and they won't know that we're aliens necessarily.
I was going to say we could go in under the cover of looking to enter a two-man team into the tournament. You know, Remux and Click Clack, you guys look like perfect contestants for this type of thing. So if we go in there, I'm happy to be your manager, you know. And we can go in seeking entrance, make a bit of a distraction, and get the rest of the crew to offload and make contact with Jonathan.
That's a much more fun idea.
Maybe we could make contact with Jonathan first if we have his details, as he may know the best thing to do on this planet as a local.
Right, Isol. Over to you.
Wrong director.
Oh, sorry. Let Clack do it.
weren't given contact.
Oh,
You were told his name and where he was, but you were. But they might know.
We're meeting him near the stadium, though, right? Near the fighting pit.
We're meeting him.
Yeah. Okay, so maybe the cover of the two-man team is a good idea. We can get into the fighting pit, try and find Jonathan.
Nice.
Richard, your point a second ago is saying you can see outside that no one's around. There's the odd person with a breather, but not wearing.
Okay, so we still stand out. Okay, never mind. Let's go with Len's idea. Or Ross's idea. Whoever we're crediting that idea to. Remux will pick himself up. Okay, here we go. And he'll go and help himself to a stim pack. So I imagine the ship's got them.
That was the
Okay.
last one.
I'm ready.
Remux,
Alright.
here you go. I've got two. I carry two with me. You can have them.
I think somebody said, "Can we?"
I'll just use one. And Remix is ready to go.
Who's leaving the ship?
Do we know if this is like hand-to-hand combat or if it's full weapons, if there's limitations? Okay. Everyone get fully armed, and if we have to lose some weapons at the door, we have to lose some weapons at the door. But Clack, are you okay with going into this competition if shit goes sideways?
I think it would be better for maybe Triassic as a arena champion to take on the arena.
That's fantastic. I haven't had too much mission experience with Triassic, so it'd be good to spend some time together.
He was with you on the job on the other delivery.
Wasn't that Professor Thaddeus? I know that was when we caught the Rancor. Okay, when we delivered the Rancor, is that what you're talking about? Okay. I haven't spent too much time, so just to know.
Click Clack will be probably more useful scouting around in the crowd, like paying attention to what else is going on, rather than the big walking Hulk like Remix that probably stands out incredibly much. Incredibly much? Stands out incredibly. Stands out a lot.
Significantly.
Clearly
Yeah,
visible.
yeah. Is everyone on this planet the same race though? Because they don't allow outsiders, right?
Well, they don't allow outsiders. They don't. So if you look outside, you can spot there is some huge cross, but the majority.
Okay.
Is it a case of like once you're here,
Yes.
and once you're not here, you stay not here?
We'll find out. Whole script for nothing.
Okay. We're gonna have to. What are we gonna do? Like, how do we unload this creature and get it to the stadium? If anyone in the slum sees, shit's. Well, let's get to Jonathan, I think.
Yeah, well, let's talk to him first, and then once we have arranged somewhere to deliver this cargo to, then we'll start moving the cargo around rather than just wandering the streets with it. It's probably
Right.
sensible.
Remix will
So
take a rebreather.
That's a good shout. As we start
Classic.
stepping, we'll take a rebreathe. As we start stepping onto the off the ship, Lynn is going to start if there's anyone there, are there like a couple of people gathered around looking at the ship because it's a bit weird by the slums, I imagine. Lynn's going to start making a bit of a scene, Look here, gentlemen, this year's champions have just arrived. And she'll point to Remux and Trasic as they're walking along, and she'll just keep up the air and hoping that it buys them some street credit.
Remix will do a flourish with his virus sword.
So they kind of take a listen to your gasp. An old this rousing ship. Many years to get that sports ground. But around you see young ones particularly. You're going to be
Well, is there anywhere else we can park, dear sir? What if we promised to sign some autographs after the battle? The young ones love that kind of stuff, right? They'd give up their sports ground for a little bit.
And maybe donate some credits to their fund for equipment.
and stuff.
So long as you do not roll, I do not have a problem.
Well, hobble. He's an older fellow. And as he goes through the crowd, they crowd sort of hear whispers. They hear have operation to force us. Um,
That's the music bot that I've just added to the server.
oh, okay. And he leads you to a hut. Come in, come in. Go, shoo, shoo, shoo. I'm making a deal. No. Okay, I'll try. Comes into a very clear mine. Helmet with a torch. I forget what miners. Some overalls and all the second sleep and a fire pit in the middle. He goes, take a seat anywhere you can. He just comes.
Makes stay
Lynn
standing.
kind of, yeah, Lynn kind of like looks around and pulls her hands a bit closer to her and just stands.
Drasik sits in the traditional Japanese, like on his knees with his bum on his heels.
Rick will look back up at Lynn. I'm an old. Can't be looking. Floor is clean.
Drasik will remove his cloak, fold it again, fold it into quarters. So now it's a small pillow, and place it on the floor for Lynn.
You are a true gentleman. Thank you. And she'll sit.
Meals.
Thank you. The gentleman over here. Sorry, I'm not your.
In the train station.
And sorry, name.
My name is Drasik.
Fantastic mentions credits would be absolutely wonderful, but credits aren't much. There's many of us that are wanting to currently in build up the top. They want us to do more hours or more and dig deeper into them. Not safe to go too far. And take the areas of there's about 400 of us in this.
I don't profess to be a genius with businesses and how that works, but if, for example, even 50 of you were to suddenly not be here, the industry that you guys are providing would suffer, which means there'd be a lot of very rich people who would be not too happy.
Happy
That's
we're not working.
that is true, good sir. But there would also be a slight problem of retribution that they would likely rain down upon all the remaining people as a lesson, or to try and find those who have escaped and those who assisted the escape.
If we take some of you away, will they not push the remainers harder?
That might be that's old. Back to me. As long as we get the young. What business?
I happen to have a soft spot for young people, and it just so happens that we have recently taken in about 50 young people. And, you know, how many young people are we talking? Lynn has no fucking clue.
She's only one woman, so it'll take her a while.
Got those.
No. Yes, and I will get a beverage as well. No, I prefer a simple. Yeah. Anyway, everyone's back now.
Sorry about that. It is very far away. Right, so
It's not. You got bushes just outside.
He hasn't got any bushes.
maybe it was in. Right, so you're in the hut. He's talked about slavery. There we go. And you were saying about you had a soft
Yep.
spot for young people.
I think a
Kids.
ship could take 10 people comfortably, 20 people uncomfortably, on top of the crew we already have.
How many orphans did we transport on the ship back to the planet?
50.
There's 50.
There's your numbers.
50.
Yeah, you could fit 50 in the corridors and the cargo hold and nooks and crannies. Yeah, it'd be okay. Well,
Sorry, Richard. I know you did just work that out, but
There was a
canonically,
precedent.
50s. Well, where would you take them? Could you off to a
No, no, you don't get to know where. They can come and live with us, and I can give you my personal guarantee that they will be well looked after and better off. But if I tell you where we're taking them or anything about who we are and where we're going, they are at risk.
understood? Right. What can I help? First off,
Right, Rick? Well, you haven't heard our terms yet.
I don't need you. As long as you can, I'll do whatever I can.
Okay. Well, getting 50 people off of here is a lot more valuable to you than us landing on their sports field. Let's agree on that, right?
Don't worry about it. The biggest toy in the world. Don't worry about this one. I will smooth the others. Promise me those 50 or these 50 young ones off, then perfect.
Rick, how well do you know the organizers of the games?
Fighting Guild. Yeah. I don't know who's in charge, but I know there's a drip called Jonathan who's in charge of everything down
Can you get us in contact with them?
here. Yes. In going around. People to join his games, but
It just so happens that we are stupid enough, maybe. Um,
you intend to enter the
well, I don't think that's our intent, but that's how our cover.
You'll need a manager.
That's me.
Sorry. I am from here. I understand how or way it. I will be a much better manager while free fight.
I'm not fighting in the pit. Are you crazy?
I was a Axel.
If we fight in the pit, that means we draw more attention to ourselves. It also means it would take longer to remove the children from this planet. It's much better that we do our job and leave.
That all of those are very valid points, Tresic. But the only thing that I'm thinking about is if we do fight in the pit, it adds like a reason for us actually being planetside. So if we get spotted on leaving or anything like that, which is quite likely, we'll have a reason, and that might give us some cover.
It also might make us targets, but I'll leave that call to you.
Oh no, no, no! I don't make calls like that. We make those calls together.
What say you, Remix?
I think we need to speak to Jonathan. I think that will dictate our actions. Speak to him first.
Rick, it's important that you know that we have other business here that I would like your help with. And I need to speak to Jonathan first before we get into any of that.
Said I'd help you. Help you. Let's go. We go to Jonathan.
He's going to
Thank
live
you, Rick.
next door, isn't he? Ridiculous.
Jonathan! He goes, it's a little bit of a walk, but we'll go.
Good.
And as you leave the hut, you have a crowd. There's a crowd around. A couple of people go, you ask him, Ricky. He goes, now. There will be straws drawn. 50. Go and pack your things in case you're a lucky one. We'll be back soon. Now get up. Stop crowding the heroes. Get out of the way. Come on, go. Sorry about them. Let's go this way.
So Renux will get up very close to Rick and he'll say, like right in his ear, can you be more discreet, please? If the miners find out about this, they're not going to be too happy. Don't shout about it.
Oh, the mine.
The Miners Guild.
Oh, you mean the
The miners'
bosses?
guild. Yeah, exactly.
But your words, big. Yes, okay, I understood. I'll be a little bit more
Good.
over a little. I know. But look, after a few minutes of you walking, people moving about, when he said, "Go pack your things," you might be a lucky one. Like all they just went whoosh and just scattered into their houses and around and all these bits. So you can see that the arena as you're coming up is, and you can see her approaching. He goes, Jonathan, he's normally up in that tower, but he's a third room beasts. No, I don't like those. Very savage. And I heard rumor the beast. Um, anyway, the Beatles are dangerous. But the criminals, if you're naughty and you get caught, you'll end up in the arena and you earn your freedom. Good thing I've not been on the wrong side of the law.
Until now.
Oh no, I'm not on the wrong side of the law right now. I didn't land on the planet. It's already here.
Surely you're arranging for us to take these children off world. Would that not be breaking the law?
Now, logically speaking, is saving one's family breaking them?
It might be.
Got me there, Rubix. I don't know all the laws.
That's why I must remind you to be discreet, okay? Otherwise you may find yourself in the arena.
No. Let me make the
Law, breaking the law, breaking the law, breaking the law.
and he takes you up to the pushes the bell. Yes, I'm here to see Jonathan. No, that Jonathan. Yeah, your response over. There you go. It's not that minor person again, is it? What was his name? Rick. Said he doesn't want to see you, but I've got something very important. All right, come in. And it looks very different to how it did outside. It's all nicely clean and trophies on the wall, like ceremonial weapons, and as a Duros woman sitting at her desk, and she goes, "Rick, you've got to stop doing this. Can't keep." Oh, hello.
Hello, madame.
Or Darkham Scaly. The Duros people actually evolved from lizards as well. May I help you? And Rick goes, no, not to do with you, Cecilia. We've got to speak to Jonathan.
My good woman, it would be most appreciated if you could arrange us a small chat with Jonathan post haste. I would be very in your debt.
Of course. And she goes to flick her hair, but she's not got any hair. So Richard, you went to say something, and I didn't get any of it because you were muted.
Sorry.
I was just
He was
singing,
singing.
Cecilia, you're breaking my heart.
Yes, come with me. Come with me, and I'll.
Cecilia,
Oh, sorry.
one thing before we go in. Sorry, when we buzzed at the door, you asked which Jonathan? Are there more than one?
No, it's just a ploy to send people away when I don't want to
Oh,
talk to them. Or
okay.
yes, there's only one Jonathan, and come with me.
Crisis averted.
Yes, and 1, 2, 3 glasses of water. Is that okay?
Well, one for Rick too, please.
Okay, as you wish. You'll get 4 glasses. It will be very crystal clear water. Perfectly safe, no toxins in this. It's all filtered and cleaned. Not like the stuff that these people. Anyway, I'm back in a moment. I'll go get Jonathan. Door will close.
I tip my water into Rick's glass.
Well, thank
If
you.
there's space, I'll put mine in there too.
It's gone. Much nicer.
You can have mine too, then.
Oh, thank you. And then Cecilia
It's
goes,
poisoned, and he dies hard.
got a hard on. Cecilia comes back and says, "Oh, Jonathan will be just a few minutes. Just finish up on a phone call. Sorry, right terminology. Oh, you've drunk all your water. Let me get you some more." And she brings back in a jug of water. Oh, there we go. I'd leave that there so you can pour it yourself. Thank you. Winks at Jurassic. And she goes back out of the room, and Rick just goes, you want any?" Literally picks the jug up and starts drinking. So a few minutes later, I think the door opens and there's a very finely dressed Duros, got like a little 3-piece suit on. At his hip, he has a whip, rolled up whip on his belt, and a utility belt with power. He goes, "Oh, Rick, what are you doing here? Has he dragged you all in? Hold on. How did you?"
I think the real question is, why are we on the planet? We're here to make a delivery for you. Is there some place more private we can talk?
"Oh, you're from the surgeon's crew. Oh, never mind. Close the door. Rick, go sit in the corner," and you can still see him going. Chug his water. So, where is it?
On the ship.
And where's the ship?
Nearby. There was no instructions on where to deliver the package exactly. You understand the amount of extra work this has incurred for us, so I apologise that this is not precisely the sort of higher standard delivery that you would be used to from the surgeon. Can't talk long sentences doing that voice.
Well, thank you for your apology. And he opens the door and goes, "Cecilia, you didn't give delivery instructions. No, performance reviews are next week." Here from the corner, as Rick vomits a load of water.
Drunk too much.
Yeah. And he goes, oh. Well, you can't parade wherever your ship is. I assume it's down the hovel from this filth turning up. Operate during the day. It's not strictly legal, you see.
Yes, we'd figured, given the difficulty to get the ship onto the planet.
Did you not get instructions on how to do that either?
No.
One moment.
But don't
Cecilia!
worry, our own liaison has been misbehaving recently as well, so the fault may not lie with your staff.
Nevertheless, punishment's due. Cecilia, you're fired.
I would be more than happy to mete out some punishment to Cecilia.
Oh, I don't trade in slaves, I'm afraid, dear. I didn't get your name. One moment. Cecilia, you're not fired. Write those letters. I can't be bothered. Right, so tonight you are going to bring my delivery to here, correct?
If that is your instruction.
Yes, here is the passcode. Passcode to the back gate. I want you to deliver it under the veil of darkness. Veil of darkness. Don't tell anybody what you're doing, including that. Oh, he's already listened. Right, don't worry about him. He'll go in the arena.
Where can we land our ship?
It's already landed, right?
Yeah, can we bring it closer so that we don't have to carry our cargo in the open?
No. Come with
Okay.
me. Come with me. And he'll take you over to a window and he'll point just outside the other end of the arena and go, that's the factory. If you bring your ship closer, it will be detected.
Okay.
We can bring it here on a repulsor lift, covered. But obviously, the local population may see a unmarked delivery arrive. There is not much we can do about the locals.
Don't worry about them. This is to get them back in line, you see. Need to make that. You're a strapping lad. Would you care to be our champion?
I am already the champion of the Vaspar Arena.
What about this one over here? Have you got a title to your name?
I fought in an arena once. It's not an experience I want to repeat.
Oh.
Remix looks sheepish, betraying the fact that he guessed correctly, which isn't my backstory.
I was going with like it was really tragic or like family was killed. No, he lost. That is superb.
Would you like to enter as a team? There'll be some credits in it for you. I promise you won't fight the specimen that you're delivering, because that wouldn't be fair, would it?
Unfortunately, the surgeon keeps us on a fairly tight schedule. What do you think, Lynn?
I can't speak to what you guys want to do. I mean, what's just, in order to make a good decision, one needs to have all the information. So, what is the prize money?
Birds there was. Well, my dear, I don't deal in big numbers. I only deal in small numbers. So, if you best our champions and our criminals and well, our beastie, I could pay each of the fighters 500 credits if they live, of course. These are the games, you see. There is risk involved.
How much? How much? How much does a young slave? How much is a young slave worth?
I don't deal in slaves, my dear.
No, I know, but the miners that are out there, what's the going rate?
Slaves? They're paid wages. Slaves can't get wages. What have you been telling them, Rick? But we are slaves. Got it all wrong. He's water drunk, that one.
Okay. I'm less inclined for you guys to fight unless you've got an itch to scratch.
I will respectfully decline your offer to fight in the pits.
As will I.
Well, could have made you rich, but fair enough. I understand. Rules are the rules and getting frowned at. So I'll.
Imagine the trouble you will land yourself in if you field a team of off-worlders that should not be here anyway.
Oh, I have my. I'll be all. They all watch the sport up there. Hey, mighty little mount selling the TV rights, hollow rights. Anyway, I'll see you this evening. There's the gate code. Gate code here tonight. Good day.
Goodbye.
Good day.
500 credits. Not worth risking my life.
It's not even a week's wage.
Hmm.
No, it's $750 a week. Oh, is it $250
a week? Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, that's why he's got so much
As
money.
As a
Not
flat,
even-
as a flat retainer, $250.
Yeah.
$250 for scratching my ass. Work, we get paid a lot more.
Yeah.
As we leave. Very specific choice of words there. I don't fall unconscious. As we leave, Triassic will say to Cecilia, "So we've been given the code to a back door. Is that for this building or?"
Yes, for the. I can't do her voice now. Yes, yes, for the. Yes, it's for the cargo loading area at the back, but you never know, it might open other doors too.
He gives her a long, meaningful glance and then leaves. As we leave. Perhaps I'll see you later.
Perhaps I might still be here writing letters. Well, that went well. Did it not? Got the jug in his hand, completely empty. His jug is taken.
You'll have a fortune back home.
Oh, here then, you take it. The jug. So, are you fighting in the arena? I kind of based out of concentration for all.
I already have one championship to declare. I do not need to bolster my own name.
Oh. So, anything else you need help with before you take?
We need your help clearing the streets tonight. Yeah, I want no one out after about 11 at night.
Oh, half that one. I've got the perfect time. Leave it with me.
We just need a clear passage back here. We don't need every single street clearing.
I got it.
You have to make sure with the locals. Sometimes they're a little brain-addled from the mining.
I would be brain-addled if I had to do that every day, all day, on this shithole.
Exactly. The heavy machinery sometimes does something to a person.
Wow. Now that you mention it, I've had some heavy machinery do things to me. But that's another story for another time.
Completely missing the joke. Reema says, "You do not have any concerns about us taking these younglings off the planet. I have concerns about the implications for the surgeon if we get a reputation for stealing the locals.
Who stole the locals?
Well, we're going to, are we not? Or was that
We're
just a
not.
ruse?
We're not stealing anyone.
They seem to be treated like property.
We have it on good authority that they are paid wages and are not slaves, therefore free to go. But I do agree. What we need is an accident to happen on the sports field.
Or perhaps in one of the mines.
That might be more closely investigated because it'll stop business. Whereas the sports field, if we could manufacture an explosion of some description or something like that, we could easily kill 50 youths that were just out playing, and then there's no suspicion, we're out of there.
I think we would still get messages back to the surgeon about our behaviour on jobs.
Not if the explosion occurs after we've left, I guess.
I see. Okay, that could work.
I mean, it's better than... Actually, no. Don't worry about it.
How do we fake the deaths of 50 children though?
Well,
I'm not an
explosions are pretty good at... If we leave like a fuel cell or something behind and they set it off, it would be an antimatter explosion, which would just vaporize anything that's within it. There wouldn't be body parts and stuff. It would just be a hole.
As long as someone on our crew can actually tell us that, because Lynn has no fucking clue about explosions.
Hannes does.
I'm sure Spanners can do something.
Yeah, easy.
Want to do that? I'm going to make shadows around for
Yeah.
Hot buns.
In the crater.
shadows
That's perfectly fine, Dan, because just remember, we're not actually going to kill anyone.
Mm.
So we don't have to draw anything.
It's all a ruse. It's a cunning fox. So cunning, it went to Cunning University. Or however the quote goes. Something cunning. Blackadder.
Where are we at? What are we doing?
We're going back to the ship to wait till nightfall. We're going to do some wait. You go to a bed and wait for like 4 hours, and then suddenly it's the time that you're required to do the quest.
But first, we'll talk to Spanners about a bomb.
Oh yes, he can fabricate that in those intervening hours.
And speak to Isar about the genuine status of the citizenship of these people, because he got access to like files from the surface, I believe. So check the data he's already obtained to see whether it does say what their citizenship status is.
I'll give you it. So ISAR checks a ship over.
Genuine information.
And what you check ID chip is they're registered on the Duros database. And they are not a slave, but they're not travel to.
We would definitely be breaking the law by smuggling them off planet. Okay. When you ask Spanners, he says, "Easy peasy. I've recently been I've recently taken up explosives as a hobby, and I'm sure I could fashion something."
Spanners, I have a question. Hello. What happens if we jump to hyperspace while we're taking off?
Well, I wouldn't advise it.
Would it maybe create some devastation in the area?
I think probably too much devastation, if you ask me.
Oh, and Tricycle will say, "I'm not sure there's such thing as too much devastation."
What does Click Clack say?
He's not here. He's
Good cover.
I haven't got anything interesting for Click Clack to say in this moment, so he's not here.
I was going to get you to jump back and forth. The voices.
I was linking pieces of relevant backstory hook. Thank you. And there isn't one for ISAR.
So Rogue One, they jump in the atmosphere, don't they? And it is good. Didn't really see any backwash of devastation.
I typically, I think that it's, I think that it causes some issues with the local atmosphere when you jump to hyperspace through atmosphere. You damage the stuff in front of you and potentially your ship. Now, I'm not sure. Obviously, through things is entirely different to through atmosphere. So we might have to do some creative googling. Is the genuine? If you want to actually know if that, because someone's probably written a story or something. It's probably a real thing.
Rule of cool.
I would say we're not going to do this because we don't want to be associated with the deaths of these people because they will come after us for them.
We weren't here.
Yeah, but Jonathan knows we were here, and he knows the surgeon's people were here.
It depends how much devastation it causes.
Yeah, I don't think we want to kill the surgeons like
He can.
customers.
He's paid. Yeah, whatever.
Okay. You go to bed.
Power network.
Oh.
Sorry. What's the power network here? So these shacks, do they have power running to them?
The torch being lit. No power at all. There's
Okay.
powered things, but they're like a bit like Obi-Wan in this series. He's like a charge pack thing, turns it on to power bits of people. No direct power line. To the stadium there is.
Okay. So is there even like lamp posts or anything? No power here at all. Any mining equipment that is stored near the slums?
Sounds like you have that if you flip me a point. You have the power network, flip me a point as well.
I think I'm going to go if it's their own mining equipment blowing up, then they'll be to blame. So I think I'm going to go for Banner's idea when you come to him with this suggestion is that he's going to make some of their own mining equipment explode at like in a storage shed next to the slums, and so that it will look like it's their fault. And he will trigger it. He will set it up with a remote detonator and give the remote detonator to Rick so he can blow it up after we've set off. That's my thinking.
Sorry, I have also semi-clarified with some in-canon stuff. You can't hyperspace near gravimetric bodies, hence why they equip Star Destroyers with gravity wells to pull ships out of hyperspace. So you can't go into hyperspace on a planet. There's too much gravity.
Fair enough. Okay, makes sense. Gravity bomb. I'm sorry.
So I'm going for that. I flipped point. And so this would be, I guess, a fun little thing as well. We need to break into mining storage hut for Spanish to rig this.
Let's do it simultaneously as. So who is going on?
Remix. He's raising her hand.
Tricyc is. Because he did the original.
And Spanish obviously doing the side mission to the hut. Explosives hut.
Lynn doesn't know where to go. I don't think the delivery mission is going to need her. Neither of these missions need her. So she's happy to just stay behind. And Professor Thaddeus will go with one of the crews.
Spanners will ask Lynn
That
to
is his
come with
wish.
him in case he needs some help talking our way out of a situation or into a situation.
Okay. So Lynn will go with Spanners, and then the Professor will go with the Rexu.
Coming up to play.
Can I have Click Clack go with the delivery as well for
No.
security? No, okay. Then Richard's choice, either ISAR or Clack Clack will accompany Banners to go and raid this
ISAR.
facility.
I want ISAF on that one in case there's any computers that we need to bypass.
So it's going to be a completely non-combatant team,
Yeah.
and then a very combatant team on the
And
other
then
side.
some security back on the ship.
Those death draw. Right, okay. Kapow! A big fire appears all of a sudden outside of the ship. And you see in the flames, all of the town have come out near this big fire. And they see a song and a dance, and there's drums going on there, singing and dancing. And you see Rick, and he goes, "We're here to draw ballots for the 50. We'll be ready by the time you get back from your delivery. All of the town here. Wait, slow down, you lot." And then fire goes, flames up, and they dancing around.
We hustle.
Which one would you like to do first? Delivery team?
Yeah, let's do delivery team.
So you said you were going to put the Rexu on a anti-grav trolley.
Cargo sled, yeah, which I'm assuming we've got in the cargo hold.
Sure.
I'm like,
All storage seems to have it. They just push a button in style, wasn't it? It sort of just floats by. So you take down the loading bay and you button it, pulls itself. The Rexu's kind of still out of it. It's not really kind of maybe stirring because
we take the tranquilizers with us and put a tarp over the cage.
and
It's a tarp.
and you walk through the town pushing this. Yeah, it kind of goes with no interruptions. There's no wind in the town. They're very clearly all down by the fire trying to. And you come up towards the stadium, go around the back, like Odin, and the door in the middle of the stadium. You see Jonathan. He's standing there. A couple of spotlights on. He goes, "Oh, just in time! I'm so excited for this. Been waiting a long time for one of these to come fight. Come on, come in, come on. Let's get this checked over, and I can give the final payment over."
The surgeon had said that we had been paid.
Yes, you had paying, but I decided to give you an optional bonus. Such a good job.
It's a tarp.
Could you take the top off for me? I can check the correct. Oh goody, look at it. Look at it. And he reaches up and goes, "Yes, what a wonderful, wonderful delivery." Flips over. A dark side point, sorry. And at that point, a load more floodlights go boom, 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 all shining down. And the door closes behind you. "Should have taken my offer, lads. Should have taken my offer." And up in the crowds, you see 40 security droids all pointing there. "Come quietly. We're going to have a chat. Down, please."
You do realise what double crossing the surgeon means, right?
"Oh, this isn't a. You've made your delivery. Job's complete. This is something else.
I'm sure betrayal is still betrayal.
How much are you paying the surgeon for this job?
I gave you 9,000 credits, wasn't it, as a play fund?
No, no, no. I mean for this second job, the job of
Right.
getting us to fight in the arena.
Oh, sure he'll be it. Anyway, let's have a talk. See the droid start to come in a bit.
Professor's log. Jonathan's a dickhead.
And we'll flip over to the. So they have seen you guys leave. Saw the big fire out the, and you can see the equipment shed. You can make your way over there, and you find it locked.
What's the building made of? I'm picturing corrugated iron, but I guess this isn't necessarily shack territory, is it?
Yeah, I was
Don't know.
going to say that, but I think maybe the mining guild would probably flash out a little bit more to store their equipment safely. So let's say it's.
And is the door? Does it have an electronic lock or a mechanical lock?
Electronic.
I saw my boy. This is your territory. Sure, you can get this open for me, can't you, boy?
Oh, as long as it's not some antiquated backwater electronic lock, anything, there's some sort of modern thing I should be able to deal with. I'm quite good at getting my fingers into naughty places.
Of the
Of course you can.
fathers. Not between these.
It's nice how these things just happen sometimes, and actually they work incredibly well.
We would like
How difficult?
Average.
An average. Pew!
So you kind of look at the keypads and you think, seen this model, or it's an older model. You think they'd keep security tighter, and you're like, well, that button's worn more than all the rest. Press it. Where's this one worn more than the rest still? And you press it the fourth time, thinking, can't be right, but then the four goes. And inside, the pretty large dump trucks and digging drills and they're all these. There's electric to this hut. It's very clear because they're all.
Anybody see any cameras?
My triumph on the roll.
Yeah, there's cameras.
I saw my boy. Can you deal with that as well, do you think?
Sure. No. It appears that these cameras are on their own isolated network. They are actually someone here that's of some sensible security measures. That's quite unusual. Can I spend the 3 advantage to, although I can't hack the cameras, I know roughly where they point, so we can kind of roughly keep out of their immediate field of vision?
So I'm going to give you then a blue dice on any stealth check you put cameras.
Okay.
Or acrobatics. Jump under their field of view as they whatever. So
Yeah, I'll take that.
I'll give you that for all.
ISAR is going to make a stealth check to avoid the cameras. How difficult would you like said check to be?
Like to do a group check. Get in safely for the first one.
Sure. if that, go on, Richard. Sorry, go on, mate.
No,
What were you
yeah,
gonna say?
group is better than me having to roll separately. So actually,
Lynn,
yeah.
I
Lynn
have.
suggests.
Go on. Sorry, Ross. No, go on.
I was just going to say, Lynn suggests that she just stay at the entrance. There's no reason for her to go in there, and if something happens, ping. If something happens, dears, ping me on the comms, and I'll come in.
Good idea. Keep watching it.
Is Spanner's agility shit poor? Is it Terabad? What's
Yeah.
his stealth?
So his agility is 2, and his stealth is just 2 greens.
Okay, so you assisting me will give me a blue in that case then if none of your skills are better, is that right, Dan? Yep. Superb. Did you say it was hard, yeah?
Yeah.
Did I just put 3 in, assuming it was going to be hard? Either way, here we go. Thoughts and prayers. No.
Oh, no.
All of the advantage though.
How does ISO and Spanner's Bumble full view of?
It's going to be Spanish. He fucks it up, clearly.
I don't
Maybe
really
ISO.
know what's gone. Sorry.
I feel like ISO's going, camera there. Watch out for this bit. That's a noisy flooring. That camera's going to turn. He's the one giving guidance to Spanners, but because Spanners is shit, he fucks up. Oh, to tie it into Attack of the Clones, maybe he's not wearing a belt, and his trousers are slipping down like Dex, and he trips over his trouser leg because it's slipped down too much. He trips over into viewer camera.
The 5 advantage. I don't know how much I can stretch this to it not just to being a success anyway. The person that would be watching those cameras somewhere, someone else calls them at just that moment, so they look away from the screen. So he's on the recording, but he's not immediately seen by a person. Will you let me do that? Is that?
How about a flashing light appears on the screen where it's seen something, and he has turned away to talk to. He's a very lazy guardsman and turned away to talk to mate while he.
Mm-hmm. So he will see it, but it gives us just a little bit of time. Yep. Superb.
Spanish will
Sorry,
pull up
Richard.
his trousers, dip out of view of the camera, and says, "Oh, Dank Ferric, I think I was seen by that camera."
Well, an alarm doesn't seem to have gone off, so I think he might have gotten away with that one.
Oh, phew. Good.
Now watch out for this one's coming up. Make sure your pants are in place.
Okay. He's holding them up now with his bottom arms as he walks.
You're gonna have a blue die for you actually concentrating at your trousers. This is the last one I'm gonna make you roll. So
Yep.
go for that one.
So you're gonna do another one. Sorry, was that?
Do one more? Yeah, just so you've worked out where the cameras are, and you've worked the walkways to get yourself around.
Okay, so you've given him, and I'll do it in a second, Angie. You've given us another blue, yeah?
Yeah, because he's actually holding his trousers up.
Yeah. Okie dokie.
Perfect. So you take just a few moments to go, right, here are the cameras, Spanners. Careful of these bits, and shh. I am your hawks between the cameras moving.
Mm-hmm.
And now you're in between the vehicles. You're in between trucks and cameras from where their angles are won't actually be.
I saw. See if you can find some explosives. Looking for a box of explosives. Have a look for me.
I will do a really shit poor perception check because my perception is not great. How difficult would you like this?
Triple outside point. We need these.
Yep. Okay. We go up, and one of the drilling machines has a small crate of them on the side for when they need to blast the bits that the drill can't do. So I'm climbing up onto this industrial drilling machine to get the explosives. And we get a com from the other open com from the other team that says, you do realise what betraying the surgeon means, right? No, because I started going to steal a drilling machine and drive it through the arena.
Right, okay, fine. Fine. No worries. Not to make a splash. Or a big hole.
But that will take time. But I'm just pre-thinking escape plan is all.
Okay.
And I just need 2 seconds to say goodnight to Angie. I'll be right back.
We don't need to worry about breaking the law by taking these little younglings off the planet anymore. I don't think. As a player now, I feel like fuck them. If they've betrayed us, we'll betray them right back.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
the people of the town didn't betray you. I don't think
No,
it's
but you
really.
see, the guild, the miners guild who hired the surgeon to bring us to do this thing, they have fucked us. So now we don't give a shit about fucking them by taking off people from their mining. I think that's what Richard is getting at.
Exactly. Yeah. Fuck them.
Lynn gets on comms and just says, Spanners, just a reminder, there needs to be no evidence, no body parts. So we need a specific kind of explosion. Remember, we had this discussion.
Oh, it's in my backpack. Don't worry.
Okay.
What did I miss?
Nothing.
Okay, cool.
Nothing of it. I don't think.
No, we were just saying, fuck the miners guild.
Well, gentlemen, I'm not forming any betrayal. I just want you. See, I'm stuck here on this planet, dead planet, until I can prove my worth. I ordered the mech suit. Now I have some champions and a arena champion over here. That get me noticed. I'll be able to go on up.
Yes, it certainly got you noticed.
Yeah, get fine.
Now, Trent. Well, he's got loads of droids putting guns at you.
I don't think you realise what a threat is. You've not yet begun to hurt a threat.
Look, gentlemen. Just want you to battle. All I want. Just want you to battle. I'll get noticed. I'll even give you half of the hollow credits that I get 20,000, 10,000.
Well, that's a slightly different number to 500, isn't it?
Well, we're in a different situation now. I went off planet. I go up to where the other Duros live. Down here, I can't find a mate down here. No one likes Cecilia. Ugly.
I think we can definitely assist you in your ascent to the skies.
Well, you'll understand if I don't let you leave the arena until the battle tomorrow, right? I have some accommodation set up. It's very nice and plush. There's some meats and water and very nice waffles.
Do you mind, sir, if I confirm this information with the surgeon? All side missions should be checked in with the surgeon.
Well, I haven't asked the surgeon's permission because I don't have to.
Unfortunately, we are contracted purely to the surgeon, so all jobs do need to be pre-authorised by our employer.
Well, you see, it isn't going to delay you in it because you can't leave the planet summer night anyway. No travel.
But if we're going to fight in the pits tomorrow, then that will delay our.
If you were to leave planet right now, you'd be blown out of the skies.
However, we would have left on the initial ship tomorrow. And now you want us to fight in a pit, which is clearly going to take longer, so therefore has delayed us.
Not for a champion like you. You'll make quick work of this one.
A quick interstellar transmission to the surgeon would just put our minds at ease and allow us to perform our best in the battleground.
No.
I mean,
You do realize if you get the approval of the surgeon, all of these problems go away, right?
and we become willing combatants on a contractual job, and you just have to pay the 10,000 credits directly to the surgeon. Up front, I imagine he'd want it, because if we die, he still wants to get paid. So it seems a logical option to me.
Let me make a call. Back as he do it as if it was a mobile phone, but it works in this universe. Whisper, yes. Thank you for taking my call. I've got 3 of your team who are refusing to fight in my arena. Yep. Yeah, the customer's always right. That's what I'm trying to tell them. Yes. Yes. Death and disembowelment. Yes. Quite wrong, but yeah. 10,000 credits. I've told them. Thank you. So the surgeon says, through whisper, nobody talks to that guy. Have you ever met him at all?
Yes.
You lucky. Hopefully one day I will. Anyway, he said you can have the 10,000 credits as long as you put on a good show.
Well, now that you have arranged a pro bono contract with our employer, then this is work. Show us to our rooms.
Sure thing. Droids, take them to the holding chamber.
He comes with us.
Ooh.
I thought you were saying something completely different.
Oh.
They're saying droids go
Yeah.
to the holding chamber, meaning Professor Thaddeus has been taken elsewhere.
Oh,
I was
no,
like,
no,
no,
the
he
guard
stays with
droids
us.
are escorting.
But I understand now.
Escort
Or
you
just-
to the chamber, yeah.
We'll just take that.
The Chamber of Secret.
So back over to the other guys. Is Isar still going?
But just quickly,
Sorry, beg your pardon.
Remix, who doesn't know how to work technology, will turn to the others and say, can we confirm that? Can somebody contact Whisper and just check that conversation actually happened? You could be making it all up. Yeah. Hi, good to see you.
That's a good point, Remix. But we only have long range comms from our ship, I believe. We could get in touch with Click Clack.
Kira.
One of us does that
Yeah,
and gets Click Clack to confirm a non-coerced conversation from Whisper.
Get static.
He made it up. I knew it.
No, I meant you get static between your comm to the clack.
All right.
There must be some local dampening field in place.
I don't know what that means, but I'll take your word for it.
It
Jonathan,
means there comes no worky.
and Jonathan, before we go off, can we just borrow that comm link? We just need to confirm with Whisper that you've actually done that and not tried to pull a fast one on us.
No, take my word for it. I'm an honourable businessman. I'll
Oh
see you
well,
in the
come
morning.
on. Insight. He's got insight or whatever the
I-
equivalent is.
I would like a signed contract for the winnings, please.
Of course, Thaddeus, was it? I'll go and make. Cecilia will type that right now for you.
Professor Thaddeus, thank you.
Yep, no problem, Thad. I will get that typed up by Cecilia and bring it to your holding very shortly. Thank you.
Please make sure you have your legal team look over it too.
And my
He whispers to Remux and Trey's like, I don't know what I'm saying, but I've heard smart people say this before, and it sounds good.
Sounds great. Good work.
do an insight check.
What would it be in their system?
It'll be willpower or cunning, I guess.
Cool. Isn't it cool to pick up deception?
Presence?
No, that's to resist charm.
Yeah. Perception is probably the same. Or streetwise. Again, it's a skill and argue its
Discipline.
merits.
Perception. Remix is trying to read changes in his body language and appearance. Also, when he was on the thing, I can't say that because he doesn't understand technology. I was going to say he was looking to see whether like someone's pretending to be on the phone, but the screen's not even lit.
Or you couldn't hear the voice coming out the other side of it, or
Yeah, that works. Yeah.
Okay, hard.
Okay. Let's give it a go.
I'll do it hard regardless, but pick whatever skill you like. I like the idea of streetwise. Maybe.
if he is fucking us, he is absolutely not leaving this planet ever again, apart from in a body bag.
I'm going to go for perception. So hard 3 purple.
Yeah.
Success! Double success and 1 threat.
He is very clearly BSing you the whole. Very clearly.
Okay. Remix will turn to the other two and say, bullshit. I could not hear Whisper on the other end. And look at him, he's sweating. And it's not even hot.
He's a slippery little weasel, or whatever the Star Wars equivalent is.
No.
The first chance I get, I shall be looking at what he's like inside.
Slippery little cat.
Scruffy nerf herder.
I don't suppose we can do anything with that information, but at least we know he's fucking us now.
So you're in a very nice suite suite for you.
Can we see the giant bonfires from the slums?
No windows.
Yeah.
It's very nice. This room. Like I said, there's food stuff. There's water in a jug. Very nice. There's places for you to stay.
When we're delivered to the room, before Jonathan leaves or whoever has escorted us to the room delivers us, Remix will ask, rules. We must see them. I'm assuming this tournament has rules. What are they?
Was this to Jonathan? Sorry.
Yeah.
All roles.
If he's come with us to the...
Yeah, he came with the droids. All roles will be clarified in the morning. They're pretty simple. Don't die.
We'll tell us the rules.
Yeah, don't die.
Is there any restrictions on weaponry?
Oh no.
Are we fighting against just beasts or other sentient folk?
He had already told you that people that come to the arena, criminals.
Is it a Royal Rumble? Everything released all at once?
I don't know. You haven't tried that form. We'll get some good ratings. Thank you very much, Remix.
Are we likely to find once or more than once?
And if we do, sounds amazing. Think of the numbers. Down on his outrage.
Remus puts his head in his hand.
It is my experience that in events like this, there is often a certain amount of match fixing that happens. I'm no expert, but I suspect that there is likely to be some poison in this food they have provided in an attempt to lower our performance and bet against us. We should be vigilant.
Goodbye, Professor. Yeah.
I just forgot to grab my character sheet for a sec.
Flip over to the other team.
A second. Yeah, go on. Just while I figure out if I can actually check if any of this is. I don't think I have the required skill set for that. I do not have the facilities, big man, for those sorts of checks. No, I don't. Triasec is not smart. He not super dumb, but he dumb. He's not worldly. He has not got a high intelligence score.
Right, what's happening over in the warehouse? Manners has the stuff ready to make a bomb. Lynn is on lookout duty. Isa was climbing found the explosive.
So they don't know. We, as the other crew, don't know about what's going on at the arena. So we would continue with our plan. We wouldn't go, oh, okay, we don't have to.
You
Do the same.
heard that bit that Nick said about
Okay.
being betrayed, and then after that, the radio went silent.
Before Dan cut the comms off, so there were no more shenanigans. We heard, yeah, that's the
Invented the
betrayal of
railroad.
the.
I imagine that Spanners and I start look at each other just like, what do we do now, boy?
Oh, I don't know. This isn't really my forte, so it's all getting a little bit too violent for my. We can either. I don't know. Let me think for a moment. And he's going to sit there and look really pained. Can we reach? can we reach them again and see how things are going?
Lynn, did you hear that?
Unfortunately, yes.
Where does this leave us now, do you think? Do we continue with the plan?
I think so. I think we should trust the first team to get their shit sorted and get the job done. And we should just make sure that we've covered the escape and covered our objective.
Roger, Roger. Boop. Spanners will identify explosives and power sources in here and try and identify something that could believably cause the kind of vaporizing effect that he is going to trigger. Like whether maybe the drilling thing is powered by the same kind of fuel cell that we're going to be using to make the boom happen.
Sure. I don't know how to answer that question because you're trying to make
Anti-matter bomb.
yeah, I'm not sure there would be an anti-matter bomb materials within these things, but there'll also be power sources. So look, you can spend a bit of time finding materials, a bit like MacGyver, right? MacGyver always finds. So you manage to find the bits and pieces, whether it's stripping like a small power source, a charging port, or it might be rig. The only thing you don't find is on the drill. You don't find it drilling to test something out that's important. Then you can't drive it.
Okay, so I've got an idea. So this hut, this storage hut, in addition to having mining equipment, just happens to store fuel cells that aren't necessarily used in the mining. They are just fuel cells that are stored here that power their ships, their shuttles, etc. Perhaps.
Okay.
So Banners will set up a explosive whereby it will look as if a stick of dynamite equivalent, so something that is used in mining, went off, which caused a chain reaction that led to a fuel cell exploding. But obviously, all of that will be engineered to happen by him. So he's now got things like remote triggers, etc. Because I bought a personnel mine and a vehicle mine. He's been getting into explosives, so he's got all that. He's actually brought a mine with him, but he's realised he doesn't need it, and he's just going to use existing explosives and an existing fuel cell that's in there, and do some jiggery pokery to make it so that they can be set off on a remote trigger that he's brought with him.
Okay.
So, would you like a mechanics check, and what difficulty would you like?
Well, you're playing with explosives and you're playing with fuel cells. Oh,
Yeah,
haunting. Got
I do. Yeah.
While Spanners is doing this, Lynn can detect over the comms like there's a little bit of like nervousness in his voice. So she just slowly starts talking to him, just calming him down, just saying, think about what a great job you did with our ship. You put everything together, everything's perfect, it's in great working order, etc. And does all of that stuff to try and calm him down.
Nice.
Hero says, no, he didn't.
Are
Are you doing
I'm
it
trying to get
a blue die? I'm happy for that to happen.
Do you have to roll for that, or do I just get a blue?
Well, he's doing it to.
Oh, okay. Are we ready? Imagine if it came out with like 4 failures or something. I think you'd be perfectly within your rights to kill Spanners and nice one. Go! 3, 2, 1, go! Oh no, he does not succeed, but has 3 advantage. Interesting. Let me have a go at explaining it. I think that Spanners does a lot of the work in terms of getting the rig set up with the existing explosives and the fuel cell, but his trigger breaks. He's brought one trigger with him, and the trigger breaks when he's set up. But what that means is that ISAR could have a go at making, rather than a mechanical trigger, he could make one using computers. So he's got everything set up ready, but he's got no way of giving a remote trigger to Rick, so that then ISAR has to step in. Does that work? Is that too advantageous for us?
Is he aware that he's broken it, would be my question. Without testing the bomb by pressing the trigger, would he know that he's broken the trigger?
Oh yeah, that's good too. Yeah.
Bomb.
Oh.
Did you? So,
he is unsure. He has put together what he thinks is a working bomb, but is obviously unwilling to test it.
Yeah. Okay.
We could also have them chased out before he has time to finish it. because of the silent alarm that was previously tripped.
Ah, that's very good point.
That's good too.
Okay, let's do this then. Right. Put together using this mine and this. Put together, which looks like a perfectly good working bomb. But the alarm goes off just as you are finishing. Don't get to. And also, because of the alarm goes off, kind of just. I know you wanted to put it near the fuel cells, but rather than hiding it properly so it doesn't get found if somebody's looking for it, kind of just shoved in the corner. And
Sure. Okay.
hi, sir, what have you been up to in this? Going to drive the drill, and rescue the others.
Yeah, I mean, a little bit of me wants to just not have this situation and drive that drill through a wall and try and get the guys out without comms to accurately indicate where they are. That's just going to be driving through the compound. ISAR's been thinking about tactics and how to handle this situation and what's the professional way to handle this situation as an employee of the surgeon. As he's not a combat character, he does normally plan these things with Whisper on behalf of Whisper, etc. So he's been working out the 47 different variables and the 5 major working plans and the 3 minor working plans, etc. He's been doing a think, is what he's been doing.
Okay. The alarm goes off. Whoever it is in this clearly looked around, seen the flash, rewound the tape, and planners. The alarm's now gone off.
ISAR jumps and bangs his head. It scares him and he physically jumps. He was sat in that digger, so he bangs his head on the cockpit roof.
Got to do it. Gonna flip a duck. So at the sound, Isar jumps, bangs his head, and as he comes back into the seat, he hits the activation switch. The thing just goes into auto roll mode and starts to go out of the front. Back in the security room, going, yeah, they're stealing the digger.
It's a drill.
Oh, Joe, sorry, beg your pardon.
Assuming it's drill.
Okay, so everything's starting to go to pot around
Yeah.
going on. The digger started the drill, sorry, started to roll out of the doors. You've
The boring machine. It's not very exciting.
You've kind of just thrown your bomb in the corner. It wasn't exactly where you put it. Didn't get time to test it. You've kind of just thrown it in the corner, and Linda's outside.
Manus goes running after the boring machine, holding up his trousers.
Spanners,
Yeah.
you finish up. We'll create a distraction.
Oh, okay, right. Runs back into his bomb.
I saw. Slap
right.
this into high gear.
Yeah, now ISAR is actually fairly competent. By fairly competent, I mean actually quite competent as a driver. But that's not fun in this situation. So ISAR's also a nerdy little teenager, sort of. So he panics and he just starts. He doesn't operate a boring machine. He's all right as a pilot. He starts pushing levers and pedals and pressing buttons and trying to make this thing stop comedy style.
Okay.
And it's carnage. He goes like through the office and like he's creating a scene. and then he jumps out the machine, and it just keeps going.
Yeah.
He's done something, and it just won't stop. It goes over a shack. Like it's off now.
You give me a light side point. I'll have it
Mhm.
that it's on a collision course.
Sure, even better. I mean, I was just going to do it as a massive distraction, but you know what? I will take that. I will absolutely light sign point that.
So in the cabin, I saw like, oh, like what the hell's going on here? Starts doing the levers, pushing the buttons, trying to turn it off, and the boring machine front starts slowly spinning round again. Hear the engine start to rev a bit more as it starts to pick up speed. And as you're pulling the levers and not looking up, you're actually turning left and right. Actually, you've been watching, and you kind of just turn it, and you're going to go, oh, I've got to get out of this. But you perfectly lined it up with the arena, and it is just starting to go ever so slowly. Feel like Austin Power machine.
The steamroller, yeah.
It's just going through the village ever so slowly. And Isa jumps off the back, see all of the inhabitants down like close to you, and they all just kind of look at Isa and then look at the machine and go, "Oh, my home!" As this thing crawls through the town.
Was me.
It's like, get back on the ship quicker and leave. Okay. Anything you want to happen? Now it crashes in. Think
Um,
What are the guards doing? Are they chasing after the machine?
the guards weren't there; they were remote.
they've
Okay,
got to
so
get here.
They were just in a security office somewhere else.
okay.
Let's say the alarm's gone off, so
Do our comms work out here to the ship? I'm assuming yes.
yeah, your comms work. It's just the other three aren't getting sick.
Clank, we might need. Clank, we might need your help at the arena. There's about to be a big surprise in the side of it. We might have to liberate our colleagues with 50 kilotons of freedom. That's a reference to an old film. Click. Guess he's gone. All of them.
Dennis, what's going on in the bomb department?
He returns to the bomb and checks that it's all set up correctly and realizes that it's not. Realizes he hadn't quite finished the job, as it were. And he tries to finish the job.
Are you
Can
going
I do that?
Egador. Yes, you can, but you must add 2 black dice. 1 because you're in a hurry.
Or you must
2
flip a light side point.
You can if you want. But I was going to impose 2 black dice. 1 because you're in a rush, and 2 because
Perfect, because I can remove 2 black dice. I have 2 ranks in Gearhead, a passive, which means I can remove 1 black per rank of Gearhead from mechanics checks, this being a mechanics check.
It's nice to be able to use those passive skills and they actually pop up rather than into just being useless.
Yeah. I feel like those points were well spent. Okay, right. For yellow, definitely not getting a blue this time because I'm not calm and reassured. And for purple, fucking hope it works this time.
You can do
That's
it, believe
better.
me.
Thank God. So he realizes where it went wrong and he manages to get it set up. Obviously, the set's there, but he does get it working with a remote trigger.
take 3.
Okay.
It was a stressful situation. That's the easy.
Nice. Cool. And he goes running back out, holding up his trowel.
So
You do realise you've got to do this forever for him now, right?
Yeah. It's a key part of my characterization, so it's fine.
a few refuses to buy a belt. He's the richest guy.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
He's the
exactly.
richest player.
he's the
Hey.
you've got the tall belt, haven't you? I think.
Yeah, but this is more fun.
Is the tall belt just around his tummy rather than?
No, it's
Yeah.
it's like a bandolier.
Yeah, nice.
Okay. I'm gonna stop.
What?
Lots of stuff gonna happen.
Oh, no damn way.
There's
Oh,
also
I
two
don't know.
trying to drag it out.
Yeah. True